Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining Sustained Life Journal Yoga today. We are going to be moving through a 30-minute asana and dhyana practice, which is the physical practice of yoga and meditation. We'll also be doing some pranayama, which is breath work during this class. And I'll be using a mixture of English and Sanskrit, which is the language that yoga was originally taught in. So you can get started by lying down on your back in Baddha Konasana with your feet together and your knees out wide. Your feet can either be close to you or closer to the end of your mat, depending on how your hips are feeling. It's, very early in the class, so you might not want a super intense hip opener. Just start to breathe into this pose. Slowly start to bring the soles of your feet to the mat, and then allow your knees to fall over to the edge of your mat. Starting to open up the hips and just get some movement into our lower body. The next time your knees come to the left side of your mat, go ahead and let them rest, and we'll lie in a supine twist. If you'd like to create a little bit of space in your upper body, you can look towards your right hand, stretching out our neck and just really opening up, getting ready for practice. As you lie in this pose, bring your attention to the rise and the fall of your breath and your belly. Slowly start to bring your knees up towards the sky, and then allow them to fall over onto your right side. You can gently allow your head to look over to your left hand. You can have your hands stretched out wide or in a goalpost position, whatever feels best in your body. If you would like a little bit more sensation in this pose, you can bring your right foot on top of your left knee, which will allow your hips to open up even more. Gently allow your knees to come back up towards the sky, and then draw your knees in towards your chest into Uttanasana pose. You can bring your hands to your knees, or you can just wrap them around in a big hug. Maybe bringing your forehead to reach your knees. Maybe rocking side to side. Or if staying in stillness feels best for you, you can do that as well. The theme of our class today is balance, and if you would like to join us in that intention, you are more than welcome. And kind of going off of that, as you rock back and forth, see if you can catch a little bit of hang time on one side of your body. Then try it on the other side and see if you can kind of hang out. Make your way to a place of stillness, and then we'll move into Happy Baby, Ananda Balasana. So we can bring our knees apart from each other, and you can allow your hands to come to your thighs, your calves, your ankles, or your feet. So we're bending our knees towards our armpits. And again, we can bring that rocking motion back into this practice, or you can stay in stillness, maybe bending one knee and then the other, even twirling out your ankles and just feeling into the tight spots. The longer we hang out in this pose, you might feel a little bit of release in your lower back or maybe in your shoulders. And just take notice of that as your body shifts. Gently allow your feet to come together, holding on to your ankles or your knees. Coming into this little pose that I don't know the name for, to be quite honest. I don't know if I made it up or found it somewhere, but it feels good in my body, so I wanted to share it with you all. And again, I invite you to rock back and forth or just stay in a place of stillness. If this doesn't feel good in your body, you can find another pose that works well for you. Go ahead and draw your knees in towards your chest, bringing your head to your knees and just really thanking yourself for taking the time to show up on your mat today and take really good care of yourself. You deserve it. Allow your body to start rocking back and forth on your spine. Again, maybe finding some hang time in a boat pose. And then when you're ready, crossing your shins and making your way into a tabletop position with our shoulders over our wrists and our hips over our knees, creating a straight line in our spine. And then we'll move into some cat and cows, our Utthanasanas and Marjalasanas. On your inhale, curl your back up like a cat, drawing your chin towards your chest, pressing into the palms of your hands. And on your exhale, allow your belly button to come down towards the earth and your chin lifting up towards the sky. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, moving into cat pose, arching our back and really drawing our chin towards our chest. And release into cow pose, bringing our tailbone and our chin up towards the sky. And then go ahead and tap into your own movement of cat and cow, your own pace. Maybe you want to bring your hips side to side. Maybe rotating your hands to move towards the back of your mat or dropping down into a child's pose. Just remember to keep your attention on your breath. When you're ready, you can cross your shins and make your way into a seated position for pranayama, or our breathwork portion of class. Bring your hands up into a shaka, bringing your pinky and your thumb up and allowing your middle fingers to come down. And then placing your thumb on your right nostril and taking a deep inhale through your left nostril. Closing it with your pinky, and then releasing the air through your right nostril. Take a deep inhale through your right nostril, close it with your thumb, and exhale through your left nostril. Take a deep inhale through your left nostril and hold, closing it with your pinky and opening up on the right side and exhaling. Begin to take this alternate nostril breathing pranayama, nadi shodhana, at your own pace in your own rhythm. On your next exhale, allow your hands to come down to your knees, and then take a deep inhale through your nose and release all the stale air in your body. You can bring your hands to heart center and really just tap into the feeling that you created through that pranayama or breathwork practice. Nadi Shodhana is meant to bring balance by balancing out the left and the right side of our brain. I hope you enjoyed that pranayama and breathwork practice. So now we're going to move back into our asana flow. So making your way into your tabletop position, tucking your toes under, lifting your knees, and allowing your hips to move back into a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. You can pedal out your knees, bending one and the other, really pressing into the palms of your hands and allowing your chest to come towards your thighs. And when you're ready, you can find a place of stillness. And then we'll press into our feet and our left hand and lift your right hand up over your mat. And then allow it to come down and lift your left hand up over your mat, balancing on your right hand. And when you're ready, let it come down to your mat. You can try that balancing practice a couple more times or just stay in your downward facing dog. Begin to slowly walk your feet up to the top of your mat behind your hands into our forward fold, Uttanasana. Feel free to take a generous bend in your knees, maybe bending one then the other. You can bring your hands to opposite elbows or behind your head, and just really letting your upper body waterfall over your legs. Begin to draw your belly in and come into a halfway lift, bringing your hands to your thighs, your shins, or the floor. And then on your exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up into Tadasana, mountain pose. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take another inhale, rising up into Tadasana. And on your exhale, forward fold Uttanasana, allowing the crown of your head to come towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up Uttanasana, and then bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale and bring your hands up over your head into Tadasana. And on your exhale, forward fold, allowing the crown of your head towards the mat. Plant your hands on the mat, moving into plank pose, allowing your feet to come to the back of your mat. And then dropping your left knee, bringing your left hand to center, and then opening up into a modified side plank, allowing your right hand to reach up towards the sky. Allow your hand to come back down towards the earth, and then opening up on the other side, coming onto our right knee and really stretching through our left hand. You can even lean back a little bit. And then slowly making our way to a tabletop position, tucking our toes, and then moving back into a downward facing dog. Slowly start to walk your feet up towards your hands. Inhale, lift up, hands over your head into Tadasana. And then bring your hands to heart center, moving into tree pose. Your right foot can come to your ankle, your shin, or even over your knee. We want to make sure that our foot doesn't come right on top of our knee. And then really drawing your belly button in and allowing your right knee to open up towards the side. And you can bring your hands to heart center, to your shoulders, over your head, whatever feels best for you and your body. As we balance on our left foot, we can look for a dristi or a non-moving object in front of us that can help us to maintain our balance. On your next exhale, you can bring your feet to meet each other and then rise up into Tadasana mountain pose, bringing your hands over your head, and then exhale, forward fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, bringing your hands over your head. And then on your exhale, we'll move into tree pose on the opposite side. So we're standing on our right foot and we're bringing our left foot to where it feels comfortable in our own body. If you lose your balance and you fall out of the pose, it's no worries. You can just hop back in the pose. And if your attention has left the present moment and has started to fixate on the to-do list or whatever else our mind goes to, just try to gently remind yourself that you're here right now on your mat, taking good care of yourself, and try to refocus on your breath. So we'll start to move back into our standing pose. You can shake it out a little bit, maybe shake out your hands and your feet. Rise up into mountain pose. And then exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands on the mat and then step back into plank pose. We'll hold it for one breath, maybe moving forward and back. And then you can allow your knees to come towards the mat or stay up on your toes. And allow your chest to come all the way down to the mat. And we'll move into a cobra pose. Pressing into our hands and allowing our chest to make space with the mat. And then on your exhale, release and bring your right cheek to the mat and just rest. On your next exhale, begin to roll over onto your back. And we'll draw our knees in towards our chest one more time, giving ourselves a really big hug. Just feeling grateful for the chance to practice on our mat and take care of ourselves. And then I invite you to choose a pose that you would like to end your practice with. That could be moving into our happy baby pose, or maybe just keeping your knees towards your chest, or legs up the wall. Just finding what feels good in your body that will help your practice to feel complete. And when you feel ready, and only when you feel ready, you can release into Shavasana pose, our final resting pose. You can allow your feet to come out wide towards the end of your mat, and your hands out by your sides or even up over your head. Really any position that just feels restful and comfortable for you. This pose is a really important pose in our yoga practice because it really brings the whole practice together. Allow your whole body to melt into the mat and just rest. Begin to take deeper inhales and exhales, maybe twirling out your wrists and your ankles, awakening our body, and then rolling on to your favorite side, using your arm as a pillow. And when you're ready, pressing up on your hands into a seated position as we'll move into our dhyana or meditation portion of our practice. Meditation can be a little bit intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. You can choose whatever physical posture you want to be in. If you feel best just lying on your back in Shavasana for meditation, that is totally fine. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or you can keep them at a soft gaze in front of you. Go ahead and just keep your attention on your breath, on the inhales and exhales. If your mind starts to wander during the meditation, you can just focus on the music that is playing your breath, even just counting your breath as it comes in and out of your body. I will let you know when the meditation is over. Begin to deepen your inhales and your exhales, bringing your awareness back to this present moment and preparing to move on with the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining Sustain Life Journal Yoga today. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. See you soon.